Hi everyone, I'm Marlene, Graf, and I teach in the Department of Nutrition, Dietetics, and Food Sciences here on the Logan campus. And today we're going to talk about this book, What Inclusive Instructors Do, and just a book review. So imagine for a minute that you are a student and it's the first day of class, and pretend that you're on your way to class. What do you think you're concerned about or hoping for or wondering about? Now pretend you get to your first class and it's in an auditorium and there's lots of students, and your instructor puts this QR code up and says scan this and go fill out this form. So you can do that right now, actually. Did I put it in the wrong spot? It might be too big. Should I move? You can scan my card after. Anyway, but here's what it looks like. It's a who's in class form, and there's 6 sample questions on this one. But the first one says, I work on or off campus. I'm financially capable of purchasing all the materials in class. And so as you scan through those questions, you can answer them or not. But I want you to think to yourself, what questions do you appreciate or like or identify with? Are there any that you think are missing, or any student populations that you think are not represented? And how would you feel about an instructor or course after filling out a form like this? So this form was actually first talked about in this journal article that was published in 2021. The title was A Tool to Advance Inclusive Teaching Efforts in the Classroom, the Who's in Class form. And so here were the comments from students afterwards. Students said, Professor X seemed more aware of different identities and student experiences. I went into the semester feeling heard, and I felt more comfortable going to office hours and asking questions, which is cool, right? They had students, there were over 400 students who took this form, and then 70% of them commented on it, and then 10 instructors who did this form commented it, and some of the instructors said it didn't seem to have much of an impact. However, when they matched up instructors to the students in their class, they found out that students perceive that instructors genuinely care to learn more about them when they did this form. So now you might be thinking, well, where do I get one of those forms? Wouldn't it be amazing if, imagine if you had a tool like that was all ready-made? Well, guess what? I'm here to tell you where you can get it. So on the Google form that I just showed you, I have 6 questions, and they're the same 6 sample questions that were in the journal article, but it doesn't give you all of them. So in order to get all of them, you got to get this book. So in the book, there's the full form has 31 questions, and they're in 3 formats. Some questions you can answer with a yes or no, some are fill in the blank, some are short answer. And these are all of the populations of students who are represented on that form. So it does pretty good. So the same authors of the journal article went and found another author and decided to make their project bigger and better. And instead of 10 instructors, they did a survey to 306 instructors at several different institutions, and then they wrote a book about it. So this book emerged as a result of the changes that we saw from COVID-19 in the educational landscape. And it was also a courageous response to the racial tension and violence that occurred during the pandemic. And so, as I said, this book was based on a survey to 306 university instructors, and those instructors were asked to give feedback in 3 areas. Number 1, they were asked to define what inclusive teaching was. Number 2, they were asked to identify specific strategies that they used in their class for inclusive teaching. And C is what their institutions are doing. These were the 2 themes that emerged. Number 1, inclusive teaching requires some intentional effort and design. And number 2, it's worth it because it fosters a sense of belonging, which students really need and benefit from. So here is, there we go. Here is an overview of the table of contents. There's 3 parts, 7 chapters, 172 pages. And chapter 6 is where you find the who's in class form. So also, I really like the appendices part of this book because A has the study methodology, B has the chapter reflection questions, and as soon as I saw those, I thought, oh, I could do a learning circle. And then a welcome statement example, an example of a syllabus quiz, and a welcoming classroom worksheet. So scan this code if you can, because I submitted a proposal for a learning circle, and they liked this idea too. So in the fall, I'll do a learning circle, and you'll get your own book with the form. And we're going to meet on Fridays from 11 a.m. to noon, so you can go have lunch. And then we'll start a month from now minus a day, so September 13th for 4 Fridays. And there's some other awesome learning circles. I saw Logan Haviland. It also has a learning circle this fall. So I hope to see you there. My question is, what will you do to teach in a more inclusive way? And there's that QR code again if you want to be on our learning circle. Thanks so much.